What's going on, YouTube? It's a place to be. Church from Mr. A&E, giving you guys the Wednesday Night War. Yes, I am by myself. I do not have my partner, the PRIME Primetime, with me, but we're going to do this by ourselves. We're going to rock this joint solo, and I'm doing the video form for the it has to be because there's such a big night tonight for NXT and AEW, more so NXT, and so you guys listen to the snippet's going to be part of the podcast, the audio version only. But right now we're going to Wednesday Night War because NXT had Halloween Havoc. They're bringing back Halloween Havoc, one of my favorite WCW pay-per-views. Like I said, I'm a huge WCW guy. Mark, I was raised on WCW, even though I know how trash WCW was and just so much stuff that was in there. But WCW had a lot of good things. And Triple H for NXT has been bringing back a lot of WCW things with Halloween Havoc, Great American Bash, War Games. That's all WCW stuff. For those who are too young to remember that. And AEW, we're going still for the championship tournament that's going on with an awesome main event and an awesome opener. So let's get right on to NXT Halloween Havoc. Shotzi Blackheart is the host for NXT Halloween Havoc, and we're starting off with the spin the wheel, make a deal, North American Championship of Damian Priest versus Johnny Gargano for the North American Championship. And so Shotzi Blackheart spins the wheel, and we get a Devil's Playground matchup. So that's basically a hardcore falls count anywhere kind of matchup. And we have a guitar solo that's there. Damian Priest is already in the ring, shoots to the crowd to have his own Damian Priest. They lights up. Then Johnny Gargano comes out and messes up my set, man, because we get a Halloween Havoc set. We get the big jack-o'-lantern right in the middle. We got a graveyard by the ring side. Everything's just set up for Halloween Havoc set. And then what does Gargano do? He comes out with like a box cut or something and just slices the pumpkin and it inflates. Oh, the heel work by Gargano. So a lot of people don't have seen mentioning this, that Damian Priest is sending an homage to Sting, because he has the Sting gloves on with the writing on from WCW. So I like that he has the Sting gloves on. And then the match gets started. They both get some fighting in the ring. Damian Priest is taking very advantage of it in the beginning. Then we go to the outside, and then with the weapons so getting involved and everything like that. So I thought both guys did good. There's a whip into the steel steps to try to slow Damian Priest down. Then Gargano grabs the kendo stick, and then Damian Priest grabs his nightstick. So there's like a little standoff between the. I thought he was gonna swing and like break the kendo stick with the nightstick as Gargano tried to block it. I thought that would have probably been cool, but they just decided to go to a commercial break. And so they go into the fight at the top of the ramp, and then they're going up into where the spin the wheel, make a deal thing is at. And then all of a sudden, Ghostface comes out. Yes, Ghostface from Scream comes out, and then he hits Damian Priest over the head with like a tombstone or something like that. And then Gargano kicks him off, and he falls to like this this little shack that was set up right there. And then Gargano walks down, pins Damian Priest, and becomes the new North American champion. I was like, wow, wasn't expecting that. So it looks like we're probably gonna have a Gargano couple night tonight. At least that's what I thought. So as we're backstage, we got Vic Joseph dressed up as Waldo, and Wade Barrett dressed as Bad News Bear. I got some bad news. And then so we get back to commercial as we see Cameron Grimes asking Will Regal, like, what's going on with this Haunted House match? Tell me something, okay? But Pat McAfee, Oney Lorcan, and Danny Burch make themselves to the ring, and he talked about how we have the second best night in NXT history, the biggest being TakeOver 30, of course, when he debuted, and he was running down that Adam Cole disrespected him, so he calls man Ridge Holland. That didn't end up happening because Ridge got injured, unfortunately. So, but no. Before it happens, Kyle O'Reilly makes his way out. So Kyle O'Reilly is out there, and then Pat McAfee's taunting him in the ring. And then all of a sudden, Pete Dunne music hit, and Pete Dunne comes out, and that man is toned up. Pete Dunne looks good, like $1 million now, and he walks in with 2 chairs, gives one to Kyle O'Reilly, but then attacks Kyle O'Reilly behind him, and they all beat him up, so that they stand over Kyle O'Reilly's body. So it looks like this is the team that they're going to get together for War Games, obviously. So Pat McAfee, I probably was going to be, of course, Ridge Holland. And us in that spot, but Rich Holland got injured. He's injured worse than they thought. So we got Pete Dunne and then Owen Lork and Danny Burch and Pat McAfee going up against Undisputed Era. Undisputed Era just rules the War Games. They end it every single year. So I figured that they might as well continue to be in there. We get Cameron Grimes asking what we're like, what is up with the match? Like, how do you win? What's the pitfall? He's like, no, just go outside. And we go outside. The van pulls up, and it's like Michael Hayes that comes out with the Freebird stuff. But I couldn't hear what he was saying because the motor was too loud, and the music was playing too loud. And then he's gonna drive Cameron Grimes to the location. So now we got Jake Atlas taking on Santos Escobar, who is rocking the old school 1997 Phantom Rey Mysterio stuff, which I like. Shout out to Rey Mysterio. If y'all have not seen Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero from Halloween Havoc 1997, do yourselves a favor and watch that matchup. Like I said, WWE had some good things in there. I know they had a lot of trash in there also, but they had some good gems in there. And from 97 to 98, because that Halloween Havoc, that had Goldberg's best match with Goldberg versus DDP, and then you had Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio. So both matches I'd recommend you guys go and check out. This match didn't really hit it along as Santos Escobar hits a Phantom Driver on Jake Atlas. Hopefully we move on from this feud, I guess you want to call it, as he wins the matchup. So Ember Moon was talking about has Dakota Kai in her sights, but that match is going to happen next week, so unfortunately that doesn't happen. And then Shotzi Blackheart tells us that the Haunted House of Terror match is next. So now we get the Dexter Lumis and Cameron Grimes, the cinematic matchup. They pull up to the house. I was hoping this was not going to be like a House of Horrors type thing, but it turned out to be so much better. They go into this one-story house, so one-story house always make me scared anyway. So Cameron Grimes is looking around, but as he's going, you see Dexter Lumis like lurking in the trees and everything. He got that just weird look. He enters the house and he sees a referee in the corner, and then he turns the referee around. The referee is possessed, and then Lumis comes out, and then just like a straight horror movie, and then they start attacking him, but Cameron Grimes fights it off. And then he goes to like the bathroom to hide. He sees a lady in the shower, and he's like, "Come on, time to go shower." Cameron Grimes, but he opens the shower. It's a zombie. I don't know if it was a yoga instructor or whatever it was, but she was bending her. They had a lot of talented people playing the zombies. Like they were going all out for that. Scared Cameron Grimes goes right back out, and then like busts through the wall. It's Dexter Lumis fight him some more, and he it's more so Cameron Grimes trying to retreat. They go into the kitchen. Cameron Grimes tries to grab a weapon, but there's more ghostly woman that comes and jumps on his back, and then it was zombies and ghosts and stuff everywhere. I was eating all of this stuff up. So Cameron Grimes tries to run to the van to escape from the zombies, but Dexter Lumis is the driver of the van, and then he gets out and literally starts running and just runs down this long road, and it says to be continued, and we're going to come back to see what's happening with Cameron Grimes. Rhea Ripley is going up against Raquel Gonzalez, and I have to say off the back right now, the best match I have seen Raquel Gonzalez in. This actually kind of sold me on her a little bit, because I was just like, she just like nothing but the big bodyguard for Dakota Kai, and wasn't too much of a worker. But after seeing this matchup, she is a pretty good worker here. Gonzalez is a superplex on Ripley, pinning her for 2, but then Gonzalez goes for the one-arm powerbomb, but Rhea escapes and hits her in the back of the head, and she's stunned, and she gets the riptide, and then Rhea Ripley wins the matchup. So we are back to Cameron Grimes. He's still running that road. He ran all the way back to the Performance Center. He ran all the way back, and then or the Capitol Wrestling Center, the CWC. And then he gets, but before we get back there, Drake Maverick dressed up as Hulk Hogan, and then all of a sudden he's being interviewed, and then we get some guy just like the Giant, and then the other just as the Yeti or the Yeti, and then they're doing the whole double bear hug thing, and he's in the middle just sounding like Hogan, and then Killian Dave comes as a shockmaster, but he's like, wait, hold on, you didn't do the trip, so he puts the mask on and trips on his own. Classic WCW stuff from Halloween Havoc. You have to love it if you're a WCW fan like I was in the mark. It was this great scene. That was from Halloween Havoc '95, I believe. But from Hogan and the Giant, they had the old monster truck thing, which was stupid. But that whole double bear hug, that thing right there, just bringing back memories right there. Cameron Grimes is in there, and he comes back into the ring, which like it's all smoky and eerie now. It doesn't look like it's the ring that's the same one that we have with the fans there, obviously. And they change to the ring. Dexter Lumis appears behind him. How does he get back there? It's a horror movie. Who cares? Goes across the ring a little bit. Cameron Grimes tries to fight him off and everything like that, but then he gets spine busted by Dexter Lumis. Another zombie comes and jumps off Dexter Lumis and gives him a cross body. And then Dexter Lumis gives him that little rock bottom choke combination, and then he makes Cameron Grimes pass out. He wins the matchup, and it comes off the end afterwards. Dexter Lumis wins the matchup. It was great. I enjoyed it. And now Shotzi Blackheart, dressed as the devil, is getting ready for who's gonna spin the wheel at the commercial break for what the match is gonna be for Candice LeRae versus Io Shirai. Tommaso Ciampa says he doesn't recognize NXT anymore, and it's because the attitude has changed, and then so he's gonna take it out on Velveteen Dream next week. Main event time for the NXT Women's Championship. Candice LeRae taking on Io Shirai. They spin the wheel, and it's a tables, ladders, and scares match. Oh, TLC is here. Let's raise up the belt. They raise up the belt, and then with the match gets going, Candice pulls out a table, and there's a bag underneath there, and she pulls out, it's like empty body parts, like fake body parts, stuff like that. Io Shirai starts hitting her with them, but then they set up a ladder bridge on one side of the ring, so what's going to happen there. As the dash set up, and then Io's on the announce table, Candice hits Io with this laptop, and I'm like, yo, she like hit her with that laptop. That thing just came out of nowhere. I was like, whoa, that was something cool right there. Io gets the chair, starts tossing them into the ring, gives Candice LeRae a suplex on the outside, goes back in there, has a chair that's unfolded, gives Candice a suplex onto that chair. Candice LeRae, man, I give props to her all the time because she will go out there and risk it all, and got no problems with her being a woman or not. She will go out there and risk it all. Candice sets a ladder up in the corner, and then she tries to climb the ladder, but then Io takes her down. There's a spot that she pulls out two tables that have like a chalk outline on these tables that's on the side of the ring, and then Candice has Io on the apron, but this is before that. Io has a chair. Candice tries to kick her while she's on the apron, has a chair, and gives like a dragon screw, hurts her leg with that. Never seen that before. I thought that was very creative. Candice and Io both on the apron. They go for the swinging neck breaker onto the tables, and then all of a sudden, Ghostface is back out, and we're like, who is he or she? And they accompany Candice up the ladder, put her on the shoulders, and climb up the ladder. So all Candice got to do is just grab the belt. But then Io Shirai is there. Not Io Shirai, goodness. Shotzi Blackheart is there and gives Ghostface electric chair drop on the pile of chairs that Io Shirai has in there. Which, by the way, she tried to do a moonsault and missed the moonsault back early in the match. I forgot about that spot. Then Io Shirai comes in as Candice about to reach for the championship and push the ladder over, and Candice goes hip first into the ladder bridge on the outside. Io Shirai wins it. I really thought it was going to be a couples win here, but you know what? That was a great matchup, and that was NXT NXT Halloween Havoc. So I really enjoyed that. And now we gotta go over to AEW Dynamite. So for Dynamite, we have Dasha interviewing Wardlow before the match starts, and then MJF lets everybody know that, let's get something straight. If Wardlow wins his tournament and beats the champion, I become the AEW champion because Wardlow's under contract with me. which means he's my property, and that your property. Is that right, Warlord? And then Warlord's like, yeah, you got it, kind of regrettingly. So we know that the break is coming up, but then Sammy Guevara comes up to MJF and says, what a nice way to talk to people. Max, I'm not your buddy, I'm not your friend, and tonight I'm going to make sure you never join the inner circle. And I'm just like, so Sammy Guevara is clearly not part of MJF being part of or even thinking about joining the inner circle. And then we're there for the first matchup. We have Warlord taking on Hangman. So they mentioned that Warlord's on a 9-game match win streak here. So this matchup is really good here. Warlord actually shows off a lot of his athleticism in this thing, and Warlord really can break away from MJF and really be a dominant player in this thing. He sets up Adam Page for the F10. The Page he rolls after he hits him. Page rolls to the outside to get the distance out the way, and then Warlord tries to go and carry Page, but Page hits the elbow shots, and Page walks across the ring with a fall away slam. And but then Adam Page has not one but two buckshot lariats to Warlord and wins the matchup. So if he wins, you already know who's going to win the other side, so we can have that matchup, which I think is going to be an awesome matchup. Eddie Kingston is going to take on Matt Sydal. Obviously Kingston comes out and talks about how he never lost a battle royal. You see Lance Archer on the outside, and he just cuts a good promo. Then he goes up against goes Matt Sydal, and then he applies a sleeper hold to him, and then he said it's a tap it. He wants Matt Sydal to say I quit, so he makes him say I quit. So we have Excalibur had a sit-down interview with the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, and FTR. I missed this segment, but I heard some people said it was good, some people said it wasn't too good, so I don't want to, I didn't get a chance to see the segment. But it was time for the Inner Circle Town Hall meeting. Obviously, this is a play that's been going on. It's a play of what's going on, obviously, in the world, that, they had the president had a town hall meeting along with Joe Biden and all stuff like that. So people were it was weird seeing people ask like MJF what it's going to be like, how's he going to be on the Inner Circle, stuff like that. So MJF said that there are financial benefits for joining the Inner Circle. Show off the charts. He had this little chart out there displayed. The Inner Circle's earnings would spike if he had joined the group. And then he said MJF should try to turn on the Inner Circle, then knock MJF's teeth down the throat. And he said, come on, guys, I'll never turn on you, which is such a heel thing to say. And then Eric Bischoff returns. So Eric Bischoff makes his way back, and he prompts the famous John F. Kennedy question. He says, not what John Kennedy says, ask not what you can do, what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. So he says, so what can you do for Inner Circle? AJ says one word, friendship. Got a boo out of that. And then, AJ was like, he said, I fully believe once I join these great men in Inner Circle, I can learn how to be a team player. And Chris Jericho says, Chris Jericho is a prima donna, and you possess many of the same traits. He said, but what is one of the things that if you join a circle that you guys want to be, you will kill each other, basically. And then he wasn't really answering, and Jericho wanted him to answer Bischoff. And then he says, well, after all I gave you, what haven't I done, Christopher? And then Jericho said, you haven't beat me, which we knew was going to lead to a matchup. So he said, I'm going to give you a chance at Full Gear on November 7th. If MJF beats Chris Jericho, he will allow him to join the Inner Circle. That necessarily means he's going to join, but he will allow him to join the Inner Circle. So Ortiz is like, no, man, look. He said, he said him, and he's, I can't speak for anybody else, but we don't want you part of this group in the first place. So it's going to be a riff in there between MJF and the Inner Circle. I'm curious to see how it's going to be. So we get the first ever lumberjack match for the TNT Championship. freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy taking on Cody, and then out there we have of course the Nightmare Family, and with Arn Anderson, and we had the Best Friends out there, so everybody's being lumberjacks. So the first time they go out in the ring, they toss them back in. Then there's like a brawl that pops up, and then Cody does the famous suplex of Orange Cassidy from the top rope to the outside, all brawling guys on the outside, and the time limit is coming down. Like, we still got a time limit matchup on this thing. We don't want to go to a time limit draw like last time. John Silver starts making his way down to the ring for the Dark Order, and then when the referee was distracted, John Silver took off Cassidy's head with a pump kick from the outside. Arn Anderson ducked Orange Cassidy, and Cody was oblivious to all this stuff like that, and then he connected with the Crossroads and Orange Cassidy, and Cody won. This is the little slow plan that they do of the heel turn that's going to be coming. Darby Allin was scouted next for Cody, and it's going to be Cody taking on Darby Allin for the TNT Championship at Full Gear. So there's a backstage of Kip Sabian, the Best Man, Miro taking out Trent and Chuck Taylor, the Best Friends. I would love to see that. The newly crowned NWA Women's Champion Serena Deeb versus Layla Hirsch, which this is a matchup where I'm glad Serena Deeb got the NWA Championship. I don't know, Thunder Rosa still is going to be with NWA, obviously, but I like Serena Deeb a lot. Hitch went up for Hirsch went up for, I didn't pronounce it, went up for a moonsault, but Serena Deeb rolled out the way. Serena starts punching her neck, and then hits her with neck breakers. Deeb catched her with an arm, and got the submission hold on her and made her tap out. So that's what it was. Then we get Alex Marvelez interviewing Shida, Hakura Shida, and then she said, Dollar Rose, you want me? I want you at Full Gear, said Shida. So it looks like we're about to get the rematch between Shida and Nyla Rose. I was like, is there any more build to this? Shawn Spears, okay, I'll tell you what, you're taking on a jobber named VSK, and then making his MMA debut. He quickly beats this guy, and then there's a guy in a Mantar helmet outside tossing Halloween candy, and he gets mad at him and pulls him in there because obviously he's in a feud with Scorpio Sky, kind of trash the locker room a little bit, and comes to find out under the Mantor mask is Scorpio Sky, and then Scorpio Sky attacks Shawn Spears. I was like, okay, well, Scorpio Sky is obviously going to be good as a single star. I guess he's done with SCU, so that's what it is. Kenny Omega taking on Pentagon Jr., which is supposed to be Ray Finks, but Ray Finks got injured, and it's the semifinal. So you already know if Hangman won, Kenny Omega the Cleaner is going to be winning. So this matchup, awesome main event here. There's only one spot I just don't like when it comes to these AEW matches, is that Kenny Omega is tossed to the outside, and then Pentagon hits a Panama Sunrise to Kenny Omega from the apron. They had the level stage to the stage on the outside, then brings him in there to get him his finisher, the package pile driver, and Kenny Omega still kicks out. See, there's certain things I'm like, look, I understand the fighting spirit, I understand you're trying to make a good matchup, but that's one thing, in my opinion, you do not kick out of. The package pile driver is Pentagon's finisher, and then you also get a Panama Sunrise on the floor on their level stage. No, you gotta fight that back out. But then and then he also breaks Kenny Omega's arm. The Pentagon does the pullback and breaks Kenny Omega's arm, but then he can't even use that. But then he hits the One Wing Angel one time, which is a very protective move, almost one of the most protective moves in wrestling, and beats Pentagon. I'm just like, he can fight through that. I'm just like, look, I love the cleaner Kenny Omega. I ain't gonna lie to you, but there's some things I'm just like, man, don't even set up for that move or have him reverse that move so he don't take all that kind of damage and then try to kick out. It's just less entertaining to me like that. But that was that was AEW, guys. Honestly, this week it goes to NXT. How do we have it? NXT killed it. They actually beat them in the ratings this week, so that was pretty good. But What you guys think? Did you guys enjoy NXT Halloween Havoc? Post any comments down below. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button for more wrestling content right here on NC Studios. And make sure you guys finish listening to the podcast. Listen to this on audio, but listen to it on YouTube. Once again, like, subscribe, and share. And once again, this is NC and Place to Be. Children, Mr. D, and Nerd Coalition is out.